about if you're experiencing those challenges right now, because we do tend to experience amplified grief during this time period, during the holidays. We just had Thanksgiving, we just had Christmas, and a lot of times people don't understand why it's more amplified or prevalent during this time. Well, one, we may be off from work and have more time to think about it. And then two, most importantly, this is the time where we get a chance to spend time with family and friends. And so this is a time where a lot of our memories were created. And then for me in particular, my best friend who passed away, I think it's been about 7 or 8 years now. But it doesn't seem like it. It actually only seems like it's been a couple of years, and that might sound funny, but that might be how I'm processing that grief, because she was my best friend. She lived around the corner from me. We rode the school bus together, so we were best friends, friends of friends. And then we both had brothers around the same age, so we shared a lot of things in common. And she actually had lupus, and she fought it for some years, and she put up a good fight. But we celebrated both of our birthdays around the holidays. And so this is a time where I really, she comes to mind a lot more. Because we spent that time together, and we talked about, what we were going to buy for Christmas. We went shopping together. And so if we spent time with our loved ones during that time, then those memories come back to us. And so there's nothing wrong with you, if those memories are come back to you. A lot of times we overdiagnose. I've seen that a lot. And it could, you can experience sadness, you can experience depression, you can still cry about a loved one even after they've been gone for years. You're human, you're not a machine, and so you have those emotions, and it's connected to the memories of your loved one, and it's okay. So we know that happens during this time period, the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. So what do we want to do to handle that? And so I have a few tips that I like to give to deal with grief and depression during the holidays. And I like to give people, sometimes I like to give people a word that they can remember. This particular time is during the holidays. We want to make sure that we pack, P-A-C, pack. And the P stands for prepare. So we want to be proactive and think ahead about challenging moments that we may experience. If it's a particular day that's special to us, whether it's Christmas Eve or New Year's Day, that we know might be more difficult for us. You might want to take off work if you know those times are going to be more difficult, or you may want to surround yourself with friends and family, or make sure that you have at least one friend that you can reach out to, because sometimes we want to be alone, sometimes we want to be with someone. It just all depends on what works best for you, and you may not know until that moment. But all you can do is try to prepare and plan for it if you know there's a particular day that's difficult for you, or even a particular moment. Or if you know that there's a favorite TV show, like y'all used to watch Charlie Brown, The Great Pumpkin. Y'all used to watch that together, and you know it's going to come on, and you know you can't resist turning that on. Get somebody else to watch it with you, And, one thing that we definitely don't want to do is act as though we're not experiencing grief, because if we don't process it and allow ourselves to feel it, it comes out in other ways. It can come out in irritability. It can come out in anger. It can make us more depressed than what we would be. Also, you can think about, for your loved one, Was there a favorite activity that you liked to do together? With myself and my best friend, we love baking cookies. So sometimes I will bake cookies and be intentional about thinking about her in that moment. And what that does is it allows us to feel like we're not leaving that person out or moving on without that person. Sometimes people experience survivor's guilt, feeling guilty about still being around when a loved one has passed on. And so commemorating their memory, and use your creative arts. There are poems out there that other people have written about grief that they've experienced. And even if you are aversive to going to therapy, there are grief books out there. Or even reading a book where someone else has experienced grief. And then we have resources like grief.com, and grief.com is actually founded by a therapist who lost his son at an early age. And so there's lots of activities and resources on grief.com. So that's something that you can look at. The A is for aware. How do we become aware of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions? Well, we want to monitor our mood and notice any changes that we might experience, such as eating or sleep habits. You could experience an increase in stress level. You may notice some physiological symptoms like heart palpitations, sweating, just anything that's different about you. Make sure that you're monitoring that, anxiety or sadness. And then there's also assessments online that you can take, at least 10 to 20 questions where you're assessing where you are. And all of us have gotten used to now when we go to the doctor, everybody has to fill out like a depression inventory. And so you can actually pull some of the assessments that are online. And you can always go to different websites like the APA, the American Psychological Association, and also I'm losing track of my acronyms right now. The ACA, the American Counseling Association. There's a lot of different associations out there. And look at the resources that they have as well. And now we get to C. C is for care. Remember, we're packing PAC for the holidays. C is for care. So we want to address our care. Take advantage, again, like I mentioned before, take advantage of your vacation days or leave time. Engage in therapeutic activities. And it could be painting, meditation, or even partaking in some of the events that we have around the city. And some of you may have to get out the house. Sometimes people are afraid to do that, or they feel guilty about doing that. And when I say get out the house, go to some of the Christmas balls and Christmas parties and enjoy yourself, and go with a good friend. And another thing that is actually absolutely okay for you to do is let your friend know the feelings that you're experiencing. And then that way you all can work together on how you're feeling, your mood when you're at the party, because we can have some down moments even when, we're trying to be more uplifted and enjoy ourselves. But it's absolutely okay to partner with someone and let them know that you're struggling. One of the things that really stands out for me in general is we tend to isolate sometimes, and we don't feel comfortable asking for help. It is essential that we feel comfortable asking for help, and I want you to know it's okay for you to be vulnerable. You're a human. You're not a machine. It's okay for tears to flow from your eyes. People often apologize to me when they're in therapy session about crying, and we should never apologize for crying. It's a human experience. And I tell people that our tear ducts, those holes that are right there in the corner of our eyes, that God put them there for a reason, so that we can experience the relief and the release that we need to have. And so it's actually a healthy thing. And it doesn't mean that you're weak or that you're not strong. It actually says that you are human and that you are healthy. Now, if you can't cry, then that's a whole nother issue within itself, because you want to be able to get in touch with those emotions. And of course, a therapist can help you with that. If you all have any questions, feel free to call in. Feel free to call in if you have any questions about grief surrounding the holidays. 244-6874. 244-6874. I am a licensed therapist and a nationally certified counselor, and I will be glad to answer any questions that you have about coping skills or any resources that you want to use. Okay, also, I want to be able to talk about some of the things that are going on in our community. One, I hope you're having a great holiday time period at this time. One of the things that has come to my attention is that there is an organization called I believe it's called the Satan, I think it's not called a Satan Network, but the Satan something. But anyways, it is a recognized 501c3 organization. And I think a lot of people are aware at this point, but some may not be. They have rented out Chimney Rock Elementary, and they will be having after school activities for elementary school children. And it's slated to start in January. Now, what I know is that I saw the woman who is over this on one of the news interviews, and I want to say I had a chance to observe her spirit. And so there's a couple of things I've heard, things that people have said. One of the observations that I heard is that people don't understand why we're Christians are in such an uproar about it, when we weren't in an uproar about children, 1 in 3 children not having food to eat in the school system. And so I understand that. But I think it's okay for us to be concerned about both of them. And I think that people are concerned. Well, from my perspective, maybe something that other people, whether they be Christian or non-Christian, haven't thought about. My concern is, and that's in my neighborhood, so let me be clear about that. My concern is that, one, I don't like the fact that they are saying that they are looking at Satan as a literary figure. And that they are saying that they are going to give children a choice and educate them about the different options that they have. If that's the case, then why do you need a picture of the fictional Satan, or why do you need to call it Satan's Club? If it's something that's inclusive, then you would have some inclusive name for it. Or if you're teaching children about different religions, then you would name it that, and we would see all of the different symbols for all the different religions, but that's not what we're seeing. The name of the club is Satan's Club, and the name of the organization that started it has Satan in their name, but you're saying that you're going to educate children and teach them and allow them to make their own choice. Their own choice about what? I don't like this is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And the other problem that I have that people may not have thought about is I don't like the fact that they will be in the school, and when we get into worshiping Satan, you know, there's nobody can convince me that they don't worship Satan, this organization. When we get into that, then we're talking about opening up portals. And that's something maybe a lot of Christians are concerned about. I know I am. I wouldn't even want to be in the school at the time. If I was a teacher, I wouldn't want to be sitting at my desk doing anything. Now, I even heard, and I appreciate this, I even heard a pastor share that, you know, if we've been teaching our kids, then we don't have to worry about a satanic group coming in. And I agree with that in terms of my kid not turning away from what I've taught them. But what I'm not cool with is, I don't know if they're going to play with Ouija boards. I don't know if they're going to secretly worship Satan in the corner. I mean, we just don't have any control over what they do when they're in that room. And I guarantee you that portals are going to be opened, you know. And to be clear, that school could experience more sickness. That school could experience more negative behavior from children. It's not something that we really want in our community. And so while we may not be able to stop them from coming in, that is something for people to be aware of and to pray about. And hopefully there won't be a lot of parents who actually sign a permission slip to allow their children to participate. But as a Christian, I want to say that it is dangerous. You don't want to play with Satan or even be in a club that says this is Satan's club, or this group or this organization was started by the Satan network. And then as a therapist, I want to say this also. This has already occurred in at least 7 or 8 other cities where this organization has gone. And they only go in where there is a school that's having Christian after school activities. That's the only time that they go. And so it is in opposition to what Christians are teaching. Otherwise, why you got to show up, you know? So I would say be prayerful about this person who started all this. I don't want to misquote her name, but her last name begins with the E. And as a therapist, what I was starting to say earlier, what I want to say is anybody who raises up and says, well, I'm going to bring Satan in as an opposition, something has happened to that woman, some hurt, some pain that she's experienced, probably, that has led her to do this. And so we don't know what her hurt or her pain is. I would encourage you, you know, as a therapist and as a Christian, to pray for that. You know, pray for whatever that hold is in her that's causing her to lash out at Christians, that will be dealt with within her heart. I think that's an effective thing to do, is to pray about that. And in terms of, I'm sure that some people will show up and protest, and that we'll know more as time goes on, because again, this is supposed to start in January. But I just want to be able to share my thoughts about that, because it is serious, and we are concerned about the whole person, the children being fed physically and spiritually, and them not getting a hold to the wrong information, them not being taught the wrong information, but also them not being around the wrong spirits, you know, because this is serious. And let me be clear, I don't even watch scary movies that deal with spirits and they finna open up this. I don't even do that. So, you know, those are all the types of things that we need to consider and think about and reflect on as this pushes forward into 2024. And I don't even want it. I don't want it at Chimney Rock, and I don't want it in Cordova. I'm just going to be honest. I believe it has the ability to affect that whole community. And then if it's going to affect Cordova, then it's going to continue to spread throughout the city of Memphis. That's not good. So I just wanted to put my pen in it, as they say, and share some of my thoughts about that. Want to move on to some happier things. I want to make sure that I share. We've got several entrepreneurs that are having activities as we move forward and end the year and move forward into 2024. Coach Latasha Brown is having a vision party January 7th from 2 to 5. The admission fee is $35 per person, and this is going to be at the Bailey Station Center. And if you're interested, you can email Coach Tasha Brown, TASHA M Brown@gmail. And let me tell you, Coach Tasha Brown is a powerful, anointed, spiritual life coach. She has a lot of tools available, journals, and I believe calendars as well. So this is going to be an awesome event if you want to start your year off right and you want to be able to meditate on and come up with your vision for 2024 for yourself or your ministry or your business. Latasha Brown's Vision Party, January 7th from 2 to 5, $35 per person, and it will be at the Bailey Station Center. And again, you will email Coach Tasha, TASHA M Brown@gmail.com if you're interested. Also, I want to share that the t-shirt that I have on is by Capital Idea. You can reach out to them on Facebook and Instagram. They make Greek shirts, and they also have Christmas shirts, including some Grinch shirts if you're interested in that for the holidays. Now, I also did a shirt, Girl Slay, on www.coachkarla.com. It's pretty cute. I like it, and you'll see me with that on a little bit later. Also, South of the Caribbean Islands Foods has a new product, flavored butters, Jamaican jerk, lemon pepper, tequila lime, lemon pepper hot, and orange pepper. You can use these butters on chicken, pork, beef, seafood, vegetables, and even popcorn. Yes, I said popcorn. They have a special for the holidays, 3 for $25. Visit them on Facebook and Instagram to place your order. South Caribbean Cuisine. Thank you all so much for joining us on tonight. Also, tune in next Thursday and Friday because the Memphis Black Arts Alliance is going to be joining the show to sing Christmas music. So excited about that. Thank you all so much for joining us on tonight, and keep our city in prayer. Good night.
Can you actually imagine hosting your next event at the all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center? Yes, spacious, beautiful venue with plenty of parking, located in the heart of East Memphis. Let us host your next intimate birthday gathering, family repast, bachelorette party, wedding and reception, baby shower, corporate meeting, social club event. Call us today. Don't wait. 901-244-6874. The all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center.
You're talking about a good time, children. We all know. Come on now.
Center Stage Gospel Music live from Memphis, Tennessee, featuring gospel artists from around the world. Toe tapping, hand clapping, down-home gospel music. Watch on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and your local Comcast. Download the SVP TV app now on your smart television and mobile device. Center Stage Gospel season premieres Sunday, 8 p.m. Central.
Ladies, do you feel feminine during your feminine flow? You know, your monthly cycle, your period? Are you still suffering in silence? The suffering is over. It's time to choose Rain. Rain is an all-natural, premium sanitary napkin with 8 layers of cotton, high-grade polymers, graphene to help cut bacteria by 99.9%. Ladies, let's protect the most precious jewel in the world, you.
Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins do not make any medical leave-back claims or personal recommendations of any kind. For more information, contact Marilyn McGee.